CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Cascading Style Sheet. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. And the CSS is a style sheet language used for describing the look and format of a HTML documents, which is written in HTML. Okay, so CSS is a style that defines layout of HTML documents. Okay, like we can define background colors, background images, okay, text, font size, okay, font styles, and paddings, okay, margins, and height, width. So we can define so a lot of things using CSS. Okay, so for example, CSS covers all these things. Okay, font styles, font colors, okay, background images, and many of the advanced positions, and many other things available. And we can so to use CSS in HTML forms, there is a three ways. Okay, three ways of using CSS in HTML form. Okay, so that is external style sheet. First one is external style sheet, and second one internal style sheet, and third one inline styles. Okay, so these are the three ways of inserting CSS in HTML form. So first of all, external style sheet. So external style sheet is ideal when the style is uploaded to the many pages. Okay, so once you create the CSS files, so you can use the CSS file to the many HTML forms. Okay, many of the HTML forms. Suppose if you want to change uh, background for the total entire website, so you can do the changes in .css file, so it will reflect to the entire application. Suppose if you wanted to change website background, okay, website background or font styles, just you can modify in .css file, okay, .css file, so it will reflect to the entire application. Okay, so with an external style sheet, so you can change the look and feel of the entire website. So each page must link to the style sheet, so using link use link tag each use link tag to link with the HTML pages. Okay, for example, so this is our head tag in a HTML form. Okay, so you created one .css file and written. So assume that you have created one CSS file and written CSS styles, and you can call the CSS file in HTML form using link tag href. Here is the CSS file path you need to provide, and relation attribute is style sheet, and type attribute. So this is text and CSS. In HTML5, no need to specify type attribute. Okay. And the next one, internal style sheets. So internal style sheet should be used when a single document has a unique styles. When a single HTML document, single HTML document need unique styles. Okay, when a single HTML document need unique styles, you can use internal styles. Okay, internal styles. So we can use style tag to write internal styles in HTML form of use HTML tag to write internal styles in header tag of HTML form. Okay, so example, in header section only you can use style tag and you can write CSS styles here. So for example, um, if you want to apply styles to the paragraph with ID 1, ID P1, you can write like this. Okay, here goes to CSS properties. So you can 1 minute CSS doc. Okay, you can use unlimited number of style tags in header section or body section. Header section or body section. Okay, and you can use style tag in header section or body section. Okay, or both. So you can use style tag to write CSS properties in HTML document using internal styles, and you can use style tag in header section or body section, or same time you can use in header section and body section, and you can use unlimited number of style tags in header section or body section. Okay, so this is the syntax to insert style tag in HTML form. Next, in the inline styles. So inline styles are directly we can write the styles to the appropriate HTML elements only. Okay, when a single piece of code, so when a single piece of code to be styled has to be styled, then use inline styles. So inline styles. So inline styles uh, use the style attribute in the relevant tag only. To use inline styles, you use style attribute attribute of relevant tag only. Okay, for example, so this is our paragraph, okay, in HTML document. This is sample text. So this is the text content in paragraph to display, and directly you can use style attribute in relevant HTML tag only, and you can write CSS properties like this. Okay, so this is the CSS property, color red. So this property is applied to the text. So this text will be displayed in red color. So an example on these three. So open Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is our project folder. Okay, CSS. So there only one text file is there. So create an HTML form, sample.html. So create an HTML skeleton. Okay, so by default it will take all the tags. Okay, take meta tags. So here I want to use external style sheet. Here I am using div tag with id equal to div1. Okay, and place the content inside div tag. So this content I am using to display inside a div tag, and here I want to display styles to the div tag. Okay, background color and div height and width. Okay, using external styles. So create on a file my styles dot css. Okay, so this is dot css file. So you can write css styles here only. Okay, as div1. So as div1 is here, we have the div tag with id equal to, okay, div1. So this styles is applied to the div tag with id equal to div1 only. Okay, this style apply the styles to the div tags with id equal to div1. So how many div tags is there in div with id equal to div1? So for all the div tags, apply the same styles. Okay, so this div tag also apply same styles, and this div tag also apply the same styles, because here we written css style using id div1. Okay, as div1 when we are using id selector. So here in css we have the selectors like id selector, class selector, element selector. So based on the element id we can find out the html element and apply the styles, and based on the class, okay, we can write the css class and apply the class to the html elements using class attribute. And so element selector directly we can find out, we can write the css styles based on the element name only. So in this example I'm using id selector. Okay, element id. So background color for the div tag, and okay. Background color is okay, red color. So most of the things use RGB colors are okay, X colors. Okay, in real time also use color codes only. Okay, don't write color names like red, yellow, black, okay, orange, like this. So background color red color. So text color is white color, and div height 200 pixels, and width also 200 pixels. Okay, so div height, width, and background color, and the text color for the div tag. So after write the CSS styles in the .css file, so we need to link up these two forms. Use link tag and href attribute and my styles.css file and relation attribute style sheet and the type attribute equal to text CSS. Okay, so now this style is applied to the div tag. Okay, find out the div tag with id equal to div1 and apply to the div tag one. So this is the example of div tag. So div tag height and width. Div tag height is 200 pixels and width also 200 pixels, and background color red color, text color is white color. Here two div tags is there, that's why it is showing like this. Insert break here, and you can find the difference between these two div tags. So these two div tags are same style separate because id is same for these two div tags. So this is example for external style sheet, and if you want to apply the styles using internal styles, and create one more HTML form, that is internal styles.html form, HTML5 form, and take same div tag inside this form also. Internal styles. Using internal styles, we can apply the styles to the HTML elements, but we can use we need to write the styles in HTML form only using style tag. Okay, so without style tag we cannot write the CSS properties. So based on div id, okay, directly we can write CSS properties. Okay, and text color white color. Okay, so these tags only apply for in this HTML form only. So run this example. Okay, div tag only background color and text color is applied. So there is no height and width for the div tag. So next, inline styles. For inline styles, just write div tag or paragraph. Use same paragraph here. Okay, so text color is red. Paragraph text color. So this is paragraph. For inline styles, directly you can use style attribute and write the CSS properties. For internal styles, use style tag in HTML form only and write the properties. Styles for the HTML forms. You can use unlimited number of style tags in header section or body section. Okay, at the same time you can use, and anywhere you can use, in body section anywhere you can use. So if you want to write the CSS styles in HTML form, put style tag and add the CSS properties here. Okay, and after complete this CSS selectors. So the element selector, CSS selectors are different types. First one, element selector. Second one, ID selector. And third one, class selector. So these are the three types. Mostly we can use these three types to write the styles to HTML elements. First of all, element selector. Element selector selects elements based on the element name only. Okay, the selector selects elements based on the element name only. Okay, so for example, we have the paragraph in HTML form with a sample text, and you can use style tag in HTML form, and directly you can use element name. So directly you can use element name. So P is the element name. So these styles, text color like a blue. Okay, and this style is applied to the paragraphs in the HTML form. Suppose we have um, 10 paragraphs in HTML form. Example 2. So these two paragraphs apply the same styles because we use an element selector. So the selector find out the elements with the element name equal to P and apply the color blue to the paragraphs. And next, ID selector. So ID selector selector uses the id attribute of html element html element with the specified id. The specified id. So same paragraph you can use. Already we done this example. id equal to p1. So for id selectors, use hash symbol and followed by id of the attribute, id of the element. Okay, for id selectors, we have to use hash symbol and followed by element id. So this selector find out the elements with id equal to this. Okay, what we specified here. Then find out the elements and apply the styles to the particular relevant tag, relevant attribute element on it. So this id selector we can use when we need different styles for different paragraphs. Sample text id equal to p2. So you can define another id name and apply the write another css properties. Color red. Okay, so that these two paragraphs displayed with different colors. Okay, when you need different styles for the same uh, type of elements, you can use id and based on id you can apply the styles. So when you need different multiple elements same styles, you can use element name. And class selector. So class selector also same as it is id selector, but there is a difference between id selector and class selector. So that is the class selector is faster than id selector, and so class selector selector selects elements based on the class name. Okay, based on the class attribute. Based on the specific class attribute. Okay. For example, uh, same example we can use here. Okay, but here we have to use class attribute. Okay, so for class selectors, use dot and followed by class name. Okay, so little bit difference between id selector and class selector. So instead of using hash symbol and use dot symbol for the class. So this is the css class. So you can use this class name for multiple elements. Okay, using element class attribute and apply the class name. Okay, using class selectors you can apply multiple, you can apply the class to the multiple elements. Next, so already been done with the id selector, and we have to write class selector, right? For example, use class and the class name is mydiv. Okay, with the sample content. So now this style is different and this style is different. In .css file only, create one class, okay, my div, okay, class name is my div, and write some CSS properties. Background color, okay, and text color is white color. Height 300 pixels and width 300 pixels. So now directly you can run the form, that is sample.html form. So you can find here. So this is div1 tag and this is my the div class name is my div class. Okay, go to the inspect and you can find here two div tags. One is div1 and second one is div2. Okay, so select here, select the tag and you can find the CSS styles here. Okay, d1 styles, background color, height and width, and select second div and you can find the second div classes here. Okay, everything will display here, CSS styles and elements. Okay, so id selector, class selector, and already okay, we can take on span tag. This is span content. So if you need different styles for span, directly you can use element name span and text color is apply the different color, and font size 20 pixel, and font weight, okay, bold. So span text will be displayed with the color and font size and font weight. Okay, so this is the span content. So go to span and you can find the CSS styles here. So based on the element name only, we return styles. So any element you can use. Okay, div tag or paragraph or input tag. So like this you can use any element. Next, elements. So elements are mm, so these elements are used to arrange arrange text elements. Okay, set the user to arrange text elements, and the elements are left align and right align and center and justify. Okay, so these are the four types alignments. Okay, if you want to display the text right side, use text align property and right. Okay, use text align right. So like this, okay, use same text align center. So like this, you can use left, right, center, and by default, the text align to the left side, and you can arrange the align to the right align and the center align and justify. So justify is a block of text, okay, that aligns on the left right sides. Mainly, justify is adjusting the word and letter spaces in each line of text, okay, to make each line the same length. So create an HTML form, alignments.html, HTML form. So take one paragraph, okay, and this is the content to display in the paragraph, and write style tag using element selector, or you can use id p1 hash p1. So use text align property and right align. So the text will be displayed in right side. So run this example. You can see here the text is aligned to the right side. Okay. So if you remove this, okay, if you remove this, the text is aligned to the left side. Okay, by default, so the text is aligned to the left side. If you want to display the text in right align, use this property. Okay, by default this is aligned to the right align, and if you want to display the text in center align, use center. So the text is aligned to the center align, and justify. Okay, so justify adjust the word and letter spaces in each line of text to make the each line same length. Okay, and this is the text align property, and the next property is text transform property. So text transform property. So this property is used to used to specify uppercase and lowercase letters. Lowercase in text. Okay. Mm. So just you can use text transform property. Okay, text transform property and uppercase or lowercase or capitalize. Okay, so you can use any one of these three. Okay, use uppercase or lowercase or capitalize. So any one of these three you can use uppercase, lowercase or capitalize. Suppose in this example only, so just I want to convert the text to the uppercase. Okay, just convert the text to the uppercase characters. Text transform property uppercase. So this text is convert to the uppercase. Okay, so you can see here, so total text is converted to the uppercase characters. Okay, use this property to convert the text to the uppercase. So for suppose assume that, okay, imagine, so this paragraph content is uppercase characters, and if you want to display this text in lowercase characters, just use text transform property in lowercase. So this uppercase is converted to the lowercase. Okay, and capitalize. So this capitalize is convert the text. So each word first letter capitalized. Okay, convert the capitalize. Convert the each word first letter to the uppercase. Okay, you can observe here two T caps, display D caps, text D caps, I in I. Okay, everything first word, first letter caps. Okay, so capitalize property, capitalize value, convert the each word first letter to the uppercase. Next, font family property. A font family. So this property specifies the font for the element. Okay, font for the element. So the font family property can hold several font names. Okay, so there are two types of font families. There are two types of font families. One is generic font family, and second one is font family. Okay, so these are the two types of font families. So generic font family is nothing but a group of font families with a similar font styles. with a similar font styles. Okay, similar look or similar font styles. So for example, serif and monospace font families we can say, and font family is nothing but a different font families, a specific font family. Okay, and for example, Arial, Calibri, okay, and Times New Roman. Okay, Times New Roman. Okay, so like this, number of font families is there. Okay, different font family, and there is no similar look for the multiple font families. So generic font family is a group of font families with a similar look. So you can use font family property. Okay, so all these are group of font families. So generic font families. Okay, Courier, New Courier, Monospace. Okay, Franklin, and so all these are, so Times New Roman, Times Serif. Okay, so all these are group of font families, and remaining are like Arial. Okay, like Calibri. Okay, so all these are different font families. So this is Calibri font style. So go to the inspect, and you can see here font family. Directly you can change here to the Arial. So Arial font family should be like this. And if you are okay with this font family, and you can change in version code also. Okay, like this. So this is for just here testing purpose only. Just you can do the modifications here, and if you are okay with that, and do that the same modifications in your version code. Next to CSS comments. So already HTML comments is there, and here CSS also we have the comments. So these comments are used to explain the code, explain the code, or insert code description. Okay, code description. In real-time applications, much and should we have to write the description. Okay, what is the purpose of the code we have written, and so that um, say another developers like we um, so another developers also can understand. So what we written here. So using description they can understand. And if you don't want to put, if you don't want to execute some block of code, some block of code, you can put that code in comments, put in comments, put that code in comments, so that browser will never execute. Okay, in future if you need, in future if you need the same code, you can uncomment. you can uncomment and use. So CSS comment syntax is starting tag and with star slash. Okay, slash star and end with the star slash. Here I don't want to run these two properties. Okay, I don't want to execute these two properties. Just I can put these two properties in comments using slash star and end with the star slash, so that browser will never execute the commented code. So only texture and justify is applied to the paragraph, and like this you can write the comments. Okay. Mm, below styles is for first paragraph, graph in HTML form. So like this you can write the code description.